Ladies and gentlemen, I am the exceedingly average gamer here for Planet Destiny, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the This Week at Bungie post for today, February 8th, 2018. Firstly, after the development roadmap was released last week, Bungie has gotten some questions about what exactly they want the Nightfall to do for Destiny 2, and that's the first thing they talk about in this post. Chris Barrett says that the Nightfall should basically be one of the hardest of the in-game activities, and it should have rewards that reflect that. The scoring mechanics are going to work like this. Scoring is primarily going to be dependent on how many kills you get and how many orbs you generate, and is also going to be team-based and the sum of all individual performances. Basically, you're not competing for individual score, but for the highest team score on the leaderboards. Your score will also bleed after a certain amount of time, and will stop altogether after a little bit more. As of right now, new score is reduced by 50% after 15 minutes, and after 18 minutes you don't earn any new score at all, so at that point you might as well just get to the finish as quickly as you can. In addition to the new scoring mechanics, there's going to be Nightfall challenge cards that drop after patch 1.1.3 after successful Nightfall clears. This will allow you to fine-tune the difficulty of your Nightfall strike in exchange for a higher score multiplier. The most interesting thing to me about these challenge cards is that they have kind of a mod system, like how you would mod a weapon or a piece of armor, to really dial in the difficulty. Next we get to the juicy part. What are the new rewards going to be? Most of these rewards are going to be taking the form of emblems, which are also going to be the new source of auras. Your score for any given Nightfall strike is going to be displayed on this emblem for you and everybody else to see. It also looks like each individual emblem is going to have a different aura associated with it. In the screenshots we were provided, we see the emblem for the inverted SPIRE strike, which is going to be giving you a purple crown aura for your character when you have this emblem equipped. It also has a perk on it where it will increase the amount of Vanguard tokens you get for your entire fire team when you're playing this strike. Along with the aura, a personal score over the threshold will also unlock a fireteam-wide buff that boosts Vanguard token drops in that strike by 25%. And lastly, for this section, Bungie also says that some rarer variants of these emblems will be available as drops for hitting higher score thresholds, but they also say that because these are going to be much more challenging modes, they do not expect everybody to be able to obtain these. Now we hear from Jon Favreau for his thoughts on the Nightfall. He says that his main problem with the Nightfall is the old system encouraged players to simply skip encounters that they didn't absolutely have to complete to continue with the strike. He also says that people like big numbers, and the best way to get big numbers with this new scoring system is to kill everything. The main goal for implementing strike scoring was to give players some more control in exchange for higher rewards. He says that in the first iteration of this new system, they're going to be shipping just a few scoring modifiers, but there will be more to come in later patches. The ones that are going to be shipped this time are Void, Solar, and Arc Singe, which are essentially the same as the burns from Destiny 1, but not quite as severe. It will only provide a 25% increase to the player and enemy damage of the corresponding element, instead of the 200% or so that was in Destiny 1. Extinguish is a little bit of a return to the original Destiny 1 Nightfall system, where fireteam wipes will return your fireteam to orbit. Lastly, we have Power Modifier, which is essentially a power handicap that will give you increased rewards should you choose to use it. So that's it for Nightfall changes. Now we move on to the raid. Firstly, Bungie tries to answer the question that a lot of us have been having about new raid content. What's taking them so long? Bungie says that their answer is simply that they didn't want to release the new raid content in its current form. They say going forward, all raids will have a normal mode active at all times, and each week, one raid or raid lair will have a curated loadout mode. This is something brand new that we haven't seen before. Essentially, you're going to have to complete the raid with a specific modifier on, as well as having specific weapon types equipped. To kind of give us an idea of what to expect, Bungie has provided us with some examples that we might see. Week 1 could be the Eater of Worlds raid activity, with the Marksman modifier, which is going to increase the amount of precision damage you deal, as well as granting 1 ammo directly into the magazine of your current weapon on each precision shot. Your required loadout is going to be a kinetic hand cannon, an energy scout rifle, and a linear fusion power weapon. For week 2, you could be playing the Expansion 2 raid lair with the Gladiator modifier, which is going to increase your melee damage and grants you increased super energy on melee kills. You're going to have a kinetic sidearm, an energy submachine gun, and a power shotgun. For the last example we could be playing the Eater of Worlds raid activity again with the Conduit modifier, which is going to increase our ability power with each individual kill we get before reloading or switching weapons. Our loadout for this week could be a kinetic auto rifle, the Risk Runner exotic submachine gun as our energy weapon, and a grenade launcher as our power weapon. Judging from this last one, presumably if you don't have the required weapons, you won't be able to complete this mode of the raid. Bungie also says that the Eater of Worlds raid lair isn't going to be getting any specific changes to its encounters, but when the Leviathan is the active loadout raid, all the previous prestige changes will be active. And lastly for this post, we have senior designer Alex Valicki to explain to us the new chest system that is going to be implemented very soon. Essentially, Bungie has fixed the problem on their back end that was allowing this exploit to be used. They say they've also removed the reward throttling from lost sectors because they say it's no longer necessary and that they agree it was a poor player experience. And lastly, Alex tells us that he is totally on board with the talk about expanding the Lost Sector system. They don't really have anything planned specifically yet, but they say they will be talking to us when they have more concrete plans. And that should just about do it for this video discussing the This Week at Bungie post for today, February 8th, 2018. Go ahead and leave in the comments exactly what your thoughts are on this post. Was it something that you were looking forward to, or did they not deliver what you were hoping? If you would like to check out my personal channel, which we have a link to in the description of this video, until the next time, Guardians, I wish you all well.